Me, I want what's coming to me.
Oh, well, what's coming to you?
The world, Chico. And everything in it.
Say hello to my little friend!
Scarface, released in 1983, is directed by Brian De Palma, who made such films as the first original Carrie film. He also made the first Tom Cruise Mission Impossible flick, and my personal favorite, Snake Eyes, starring Nicolas Cage. This film is written by Oliver Stone.
I wrote Scarface in Paris, actually. It got me away from that world of cocaine, because I was doing cocaine myself, and it was interfering with my thought process, and my brain cells were being damaged, you know? So I really needed to get away from America, because I knew too many people here were doing coke. It was a time of cocaine and excess.
He made The Doors, starring Val Kilmer.
No limits, no laws. You wanna fuck? Come on up here. This is your show. Yeah. No limits, no laws, no limits, no laws.
The 1983 Scarface film is loosely based off of the novel of the same name, which was released in 1990 by Armitage Trail. The novel was loosely based off the real-life gangster known as Al Capone. Later on, in 1932, the first original Scarface film is released, starring Paul Muni as Tony.
I'm gonna write my name all over this town with it in big letters. Hey, stop him, somebody! Get out of my way, Johnny! I'm gonna spit!
From what I understand, at some point in his life, Al Pacino went to go see the original Scarface film, and he loved it so much that he decided to make the remake in 1983.
So I was one day walking along Sunset Boulevard, of all places, and there was the, I believe it's the Tiffany Theater now, and it was playing in a double bill with something else, I forget. It was Scarface, and there was a few of us. So I said, well, why don't we just go and take a look at it? And we went in, and it was, you know, an astounding movie, astounding. And the performance of Paul Muniz was astounding and inspiring.
I think the direction that we chose was pretty much embodied in the original Scarface. The elements that were basic in the construction of the Muni Scarface. It was the sister, the mother, the Manola, the Manny character, okay? His love affair with his competitor's girlfriend. I mean, all of these things were in the original Scarface. And Oliver, being the brilliant writer that he is, invented the rest of it.
Scarface, 1983, stars Al Pacino as the title character Tony Montana.
So what do you call yourself? Eh? ¿Cómo se llama?
Antonio Montana. And you? What you call yourself?
And immediately, Tony Montana, Al Pacino, this character, Al Pacino's acting is phenomenal.
I'm Tony Montana, a political prisoner from Cuba. And I want my fucking human right. Now. Just like the president, Jimmy Carter says.
Apparently, Al Pacino wanted certain people on the set to only speak Spanish to him so he could mentally get into character.
He said, Johnny, can I ask you a big favor? I said, yeah. He said, only speak Spanish to me once we start the movie.
I'm not an accent expert.
The group that we surrounded Pacino with in the film were all Cuban, basically all Cuban. Anytime that there was a problem in the accent, in Al's accent, they had the right to interfere and suggest that he was off with it.
The narrative in this film is pretty straightforward. You have a Cuban immigrant coming to the United States to seize the American dream, and he's willing to do whatever it takes, whatever is necessary to get there.
This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Throughout the film, we get to witness Tony's transformation and rising through the ranks of the criminal underworld.
You know something about cocaine? Dígame.
Was you kidding me or what?
There's a bunch of Colombians coming in Friday. New guys. They say they got 2 keys for us for openers. Pure Cop, Hotel Miami Beach. I want you to go over there. And if it's what they say it is, you pay them and bring it back. You do that, you got $5 grand.
At the start of the film, you have a chainsaw. There's nowhere you can go from there but more.
There was a tremendous amount of fervor around the violence of Scarface, tons of articles. And we ultimately, had to go fight our case in front of the Motion Picture Ratings Board.
I would submit it to the ratings board. I had battled with the ratings board through a whole bunch of movies I had made. And this was our last skirmish. And I kept on submitting versions of it, and they say it's an X. So I changed it a little bit, took a few more things out. I said, I've had it with these people. I'm not taking anything more out. We're going to put the movie exactly the way I originally cut it. If I got an X on the third, I got an X on the second, I got an X on the first. We're going with the original version. And they said, you can't do that. And I said, why not? And they didn't have an answer for that. Very violent, it's just too much.
He first starts off as a foot soldier for Frank, but then he and Frank get into some trouble because Tony goes after Frank's wife.
Man, that's the boss's lady, okay? We're gonna get us killed already.
You, man, the bossy lady. That guy's soft. Look in his face.
Tony and Frank's right-hand man, Omar, go to see a major drug distributor kingpin by the name of Sosa.
Oh, finally, they're getting me in a James Bond movie.
I think you would be great in James Bond.
Well, I know. I mean, she's... I know. I mean, I thought, for years, I'd love to be a James Bond villain. It'd be really interesting. And I thought, this is my moment.
I only tell you one time. Don't fuck me, Tony. Don't you ever try to fuck me.
Tony starts making deals on the side with Sosa, and then that's another reason for Frank not to be happy with Tony.
Relax, take it easy. I'm in tight with Sosa.
Let me tell you something about that greaseball cocksucker. He is a snake, that's what he is. You want me to believe Omar was a stoolie because Sosa said so?
He was an informer for the police.
But Tony don't care. Tony's only out for numero uno, the number one, which is himself.
That piece of shit up there, I never liked him. I never trusted him. For all I know, he had me set up and had my friend Angel Fernandez killed. But that's history.
Frank decides to turn on Tony by snitching on him to the police.
Burstyn. Mel Burstyn, right? Chief Detective, Narcotics.
And then, after the final straw, Frank tells Tony that he needs to stay away from his wife.
Amigo, the only thing in this world that gives orders is balls. You got it?
Frank decides to have Tony killed.
Very violent, it's just too much.
I felt really bad for this man in the costume because I was like, he's just doing his job, man. He comes out and he's dancing, he's having a good time, and then all of a sudden he gets shot in the chest.
Very, 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 very unpleasant.
Fucking punk. Son of a bitch. So long, Mal. Have a good breath. Fuck you!
Tony further rises the ranks and he finally becomes his own boss, the head honcho of his own criminal empire. And let me tell you, the soundtrack in this film is absolutely amazing. Not just the musical choices, but the score itself is absolutely amazing. It is the rise and fall of Tony Montana. He gets caught up into some legal trouble, and now he has to do a job for Sosa.
Alex, I got a fucking junkie for
Glad you could come on such short notice. I really
Don't
appreciate
eat nothing.
it. Okay. How's Elvira?
Sleeps all day. With them black shades
3
on.
more months, Tony.
Congratulations.
Well,
Wakes up with a coil.
When are you gonna have another Tony to take your place?
And who won't fuck me because she's in a coma.
Tony, come. I want you to meet some of my friends.
I can't even have a kid with her, man.
This man here, Alejandro Sosa, a very interesting character. He's a wealthy landowner,
That
educated
is
in
our
England,
problem.
very good family.
Alberto is an expert in the disposal business, but he doesn't speak English. He doesn't know his way around the States too well. He needs a little help.
Tony travels to New York to do the job for Sosa and his colleagues, but something goes wrong.
You die, motherfucker! You stupid fuck! Look at you now!
The only reason that this happened to Tony is because he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So now Tony is screwed and Sosa is coming to kill him. But once Tony gets back to Miami, there are things happening to him a mile a minute, and he's constantly blowing cocaine left and right. He can't find out where Manny is, his mama's calling him, there's a ton of things going on. It's so chaotic. I felt really bad during this moment. I was like, Tony, man, come on, you didn't have to this is your best friend, Manny, played by Stephen Bauer, and this is your sister, Mary Elizabeth, who plays Gina. And it's just very sad, and then you can feel the emotion coming from all three of these characters, like Tony because he's so coked up, and then they play it in slow motion, and then the music, all of these elements coming into place, fantastic, and you see Gina smiling, so there's like this double thing going on here where she's smiling because she's happy to see Tony, and then it's a surprise that, oh, they got married. But then if you kind of look at it from Tony's perspective, it's like, oh, she's laughing at Tony like, haha, look what I did, I just got with your best friend Manny. I do wish that there was a little bit more development between Stephen Bauer's Manny and Mary Elizabeth's Gina. I do enjoy how they set it up where Manny first lays eyes on Gina, then Tony sees Gina at the club and gets rough with her, and then Manny tries to comfort her and making excuses for why Tony is doing what he's doing.
He feels like he has to protect you.
Protect me against what?
Against guys like that asshole that you were dancing with tonight.
Hey, I like Fernando. He's a fun guy and he's nice. And he knows how to treat a woman.
Wait, where you going, man? Walking guy.
She's beautiful. How come you...
Hey! Stay away from her. You hear? She's not for you.
You gotta look around and go out with somebody who's got something on the ball, who's going somewhere in life.
Like who?
Like, for instance, someone who's got a real job, like a banker.
Tony and his goons bring Gina back to his place.
No! No! That's a Tony's place! Let him go! No! No!
Tony is in a completely coked up state. He's snorting coke every 5 seconds, just mountains and mountains and piles of it. And during her last moments, which she has no idea what's about to come, and neither does Tony, she decides enough is enough, and she wants to get her revenge.
Tony?
fuck with me. Tony, they're all over the place. Get out of here.
You wait here, okay? I'll be with you. I'll be back.
You wanna play games? Okay. I'll play with you. Come on. Okay. Do you wanna play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend!
I think this action sequence is amazing. The way it's shot, how it's executed, the performances, the violence, the brutality. It is mwah! It is the chef's kiss of all of action sequences. Probably one of the best action sequences put to screen because of how explosive it all is. Caught up in all of this chaos. It sucks what happened to Ernie. Ernie was just a foot soldier for Frank. He was just a henchman doing his job, and then Frank died, and now he decides to work for Tony. He has no choice, and then he gets strangled. It freaking sucks, man. It's like so many people get caught in the crossfire in this film.
Give me a fucking army you're gonna play me! Yeah? Who do you think you fuck with, man? I Tony Montana! You fuck with me, you fucking with the back! Why can't you just die? Absolutely will not stop. Ever. Until you are dead.
Say goodnight to a bad film. You can sum up Scarface in 2 words. Bang, bang, snort, snort. Bang, bang is for gunfire. Snort, snort is for cocaine. There's a lot of both in Scarface.
You look throughout the years in American culture, you notice that at the time, yes, Scarface, when it first was released, wasn't a popular hit amongst audiences. And now you fast forward many, many years later, it has become a cult classic.
The world, Chico. Everything in it.
Hey, Chico. If anything happens to that buy money, pobrecito, my boss is gonna stick your heads up your asses faster than a rabbit gets fucked.
You wanna play rough? Okay. Uno. Say hello to my little friend! The world is mine! All mine!
Don't you ever remake this film, even though you can consider this film a remake. This is one of those films that you can't touch. I don't think this can ever be remade, because if it is, I can promise you, I can pretty much guarantee you, I'd probably bet money on it, that a remake of this film, a new version of it, will not be as good as this 1983 version.
What about homosexuality, Tony? You like men, huh? You like to dress up like a woman?
Okay. No. Okay? Fuck no.
Would you kiss me if I were the huh?
No.
Bueno, pues, okay? And this here. And here. And a radio with a scanners. Pick up flying saucers, stuff like that.
Don't forget the fog lights.
Oh, in case I get caught in a swamp. That's a good idea.
I'm doing the talking here, not you. You need to watch my back. Watch my back.
Better than your fun, let me tell you. You big shot friend better come up with something soon. I didn't come to the United States to break my fucking back, mijo.
Hey, he's coming, okay? What do you want from me?
Coño.
How do you think of him?
I think he's a fucking peasant.
But you get a guy like that on your side, it breaks his back for you.
Tony gets the American dream, but it's hollow because there's nothing going on spiritually. He can't love. His ability to imagine a form of love outside himself is gone by the materialism that surrounds him, is destroyed by it.
Tony Montana, Scarface, starring Al Pacino, directed by Brian De Palma, written by Oliver Stone, is a quotable movie. It's an action-packed movie. It's a funny movie, then Al Pacino's convincing as this character. I mean, it is debatable, like, why didn't they get an actual Cuban actor to play this part? But then when you see Al Pacino's performance, it's very convincing. I don't see anyone else playing this part. That's all I have to say.
What were the chances we'd be sharing love?
Did you get me or what? Is this it? This what I work for?